Benja venye wewe ni Rastaman nilikuwa na expect tupa ka vibe ka move.
Ka
Rastaman thing. Yeah. Yeah. But maybe it's on that opportunity. So yeah, now you know, sinda next time we will. By the way, tulisema this week tunafanya kitu different na sijaona tukidance, so I hope tutarap.
Nywele yangu ni different.
Okay. Hi guys. Thank you so much for joining us live for Eastlands Expressions. Remember, we come live to you each and every Saturday from 2 p.m. back at 4 p.m. And you can interact with us on our social media handles across every social media handle at E_Square TV. And of course on Twitter at E_Square KE. Subscribe to our channel, yeah? On YouTube at
E_Square TV.
Yeah, subscribe, tell a friend, to tell a neighbor, to tell Marastaman.
To tell your other friend and their other friend.
Yes. To join us live each and every Saturday. And of course, subscribe to our channel. Yani, turn on the notification bell. So, time kama say tuko live, unajua tuko live. Na time ingine tukaeka content kwa page yetu pia. Uko up to date, unajua what's happening.
Yeah.
Speaking of what's happening, how have you been, Benjamin?
I've been good. It's been a good week. By the way, imekuwa wiki poa. Says complain. What about you?
My week has been nice. I thought you were going to comment on the African kind of thing, but yeah.
You look nice. You look splendid as well.
Okay, I bully you. I feel like I bully you at times.
It's okay.
You want to be bullied by me?
We are men. This is our work.
Okay.
What can we do?
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, yeah, it's been a good week.
Yeah.
I think the best thing that's happened to me this week, I saw news that there's an all-female crew rally in Kenya. Wow. Tryouts, I think, in 2 days or something.
Yeah.
Apo Kasarani. That's the big thing. It's the first one in the whole world.
It's all female.
All female.
Wow. Which also reminds me, you know the late Orirogo Manduli?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, the first. She's actually the first Kenyan female to ever participate in the rally. That was in 1974 and 1975. So it's a good thing. We're also raising the flag a bit higher for our females and the gentlemen in that space. You know? Kenya to the world.
Kenya to the world, man.
Yes. So my greatest highlight this week will be the rappers hangout. Guys, we had a rappers hangout on 23rd. Benjaya, in case you missed, okay, you'll just see the video, but
Notification gang.
Notification gang. So it was an amazing experience, and I feel like we offered so much. We offer so much, guys. It is a space where you can also get to learn from another rapper. And of course, tunakwanga na someone who guides the conversation, yani tangible, real conversation. Some of the things that you need to know as an artist, we offer lessons every third Wednesday of the month at Black Boy Media. So if you do want to be part of the next hangout, send us a message on Instagram at E_Square TV, and we will get back on that. Send up.
Amazing.
And then there's also something that I think I saw, Jamhuri Sports Club complex in Woodley. It has finally, what is the right word to use? It has finally been given life after close to 2 years.
It was closed?
Yeah, it has been under construction from, I think, August 2020. So Jana, President Uhuru opened officially.
We should do an on location there, guys.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
We will. And what else? I think it's been it's been an amazing week. I wouldn't say I've had any low light this week.
Me, I've had a low light. Aujui?
Niambie.
Jana, nimeacha simu kwa gari. Guess you the same car ndio nimenileta leo.
Oh.
Same car. Mpaka conductor, same guy. But uzuri ilikuwa ni simu ya Thao.
Okay. But Thao bado ni pesa.
Kwa hiyo economy Thao sasa itafanya nini? Thao
itanunua simu nyingine, I mean. Yeah. So I'm excited about the show. We have a great lineup, guys. But before we get to that, I want to teach you today. Did you know? Guys, did you know? Watch it before I give you the actual meaning of the word that I'm about to pronounce. Hospital inamaanisha nini?
Hospital?
Yes.
Wow. Sini pale kwa wagonjwa.
Okay.
Carol, teach me, please. Stop doing this to me. You torture me every week. You're bullying me.
I want to torture you even more with knowledge. So guys, did you know hospital is an abbreviation? Hospital is an abbreviation, and this is what it means. So guys, hospital inamaanisha home of sick people, and it's also including treatment and labor. Home of sick people, including treatment and labor. Hospital. Now you know.
Now I know.
Now you know, guys.
Home of sick people. Guys.
Treatment and labor.
Who knew?
Yes.
Yeah. Mimi leo ndakufunza sheng moja. Jina inaitwa nyoso.
Nyoso. Nyoso inakaa kukua, okay, niambie.
Nyoso ni kama synonym ya mbwakni. Ni kitu tu mtu una describe tu hii kitu ni nyoso. It's just there. Haijui, haiwezi, haifanyi,
kitu haina value.
Kitu iko tu
Okay.
Hata mtu anaweza kuwa nyoso. Kama huyo conductor. Alikataa na simu yangu, imagine ya thao. I'll never forget this.
Now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah, and of course, talking of the lineup today, last week we'll introduce conversation on finding the right time of introducing your child to solid foods. We hosted Josephine. The interview is still up on our YouTube. Check it out. But now today we are going to take the expert angle. We want to understand at what point am I supposed to introduce myself to solid food? And that by that time I'm introducing them to that solid food, what exactly am I giving them? What am I supposed to give them? At what time? So we have a doctor in the building. She's a certified child nutritionist. She's going to be joining us in a few, but in the meantime, today's artist.
Wow.
Where were you at 9 years, Benjamin?
I definitely was not recording a Kikuyu song.
Okay.
But that happens to be what the artists were doing today.
Yeah. So these artists, guys, they recorded their first song when they were 9 years. But walianza kuimba as early as 1 year old.
Imagine.
Wakiwa 1 year old. Someone already knew that they had that in them. They knew that that is a space they wanted to conquer and explore. And it's a good thing because you are going to be experiencing that music, and Benjamin is going to be having that conversation with them later on. Na mtapenda. They also had a...
We notice our African theme level.
Wacha, si ulikata kulipia compliments tukianza. I'm not interested.
Oh.
And they also have a spoken word. I think it's a dedication to us Kenyans. We have been talking about the elections, what you need to do, the right time. Just doing what is right for the future generation. And maybe if we got to hear this message from the younger generation, maybe itafika home. So they're going to be performing that too on the square. But without further ado, guys, should we invite them already? We should invite them to do the first song, and then we'll keep up later. So without further ado, guys, allow me to introduce Amani and Imani. They're twins.
They are.
They're
amazing twins, actually.
Yeah. So I think that is a conversation that I'm looking forward to. Najua mta have
You'll
fun.
love it.
Yeah. Dr. Dance.
Nita try.
Okay. So yes, Amani and Imani, welcome on stage.
Thank you. Shine, dahigo ya marigo, gashokia kalboda menya wega sekiune kama, daroga mawega, dakinyo kya wega, gashokia kalboda menya wega sekiune kama, direke dona ke, ne Jehova oheaga, onare dariria dirahi ya wenawe ohese, de night to me, sagiri komi. Mane maige, mazige tareka, sodone maige, ana jesu wito atekere kwaria mane maige, mazige tareka, sodone maige, ana jesu wito atekere kwaria mane maige, enaugi mawa mwere, keone kera dimo, ona mai na yone aga jesu abokera gumo, akahenge karo, buosha kwe Tareka, so don't maige, Maria Jesu wito atekere kwani mane maige, Matige tareka, so don't maige, Maria Jesu wito atekere kwani mane maige.
upon blessings. So who is Imani and who is Amani?
So I'm Amani.
And I'm Imani.
Amani and Imani. Thank you so much for that jam, but inamaanisha nini by the way?
It means that we can't count our blessings because God has done so much for us, and that we should always thank God for everything that He does, even the little things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haya, tutaongea later. Of course, we will still dance to that jam later on.
Yeah.
But guys, that is Imani and Imani. You'll be experiencing more of these performances later on in the show. And of course, I've talked about the rappers hangout that we had on 23rd. So we have a little snippet of what happened on that day. So how about taking a look? And then when we come back, we're going to be getting that to the expert conversation on finding the right things, the right food to give your kids, and of course, the right age of introducing your child to solid food. So take a look.
Wase wengi sana wa ghetto wameandikia wase wengi sana wa bigi mistari, na kuna wase wenye hao wakitaka kurekod nitaenda kwa hizi mabattle kama hizo za kina CS niangalie nisikie nichukue mistari kwa kila msanii ana battle. Verse yangu moja imeisha. Utadunini ukiamka leo upate msanii fulani verse yako vile ulikuwa umeipanga, hiyo ngoma imereleasiwa ni yako. Santejo, unakubaliana na hiyo story?
Hapo hapana, hapo sikubali. Labda tresiwe. Kwani yeye ni msanii na ana content? Lakini mimi nakwambia, mimi najua shit kali natokanga ghetto. Hiyo ndo kitu mimi utambua. Na like yenyewe wao wenye wako huko juu, mimi hata ni uwashuku sana. Mimi nashukungu wajiandikiangi mistari. Unapata mtu yenyewe hajaishi ghetto. Mistari anapiga nikia ghetto, alijulia wapi hiyo na hajaishi ghetto. Mimi nasemanga watu utungora.
Acha nikuulize swali hard. Kwa sababu kuna wase pia walikuwa ghetto na wamefika hapo juu. Si ndio? Majority. Kuna watu wengi walikuwa ghetto ama walikuwa hata kama hakuwa ghetto alikuwa underground at some point. But sasa amefika hapo. Na kama huyo mse alikuwa underground amefika hapo akakosa mistari, does it mean hata wewe kisu yako inanolewa ukifika hapo juu? Because what happens then? Because kama tunasema talent, lines, bars ziko underground. But after some time, umse ako underground. You utokea at some point. Bars huenda wapi? Is it something mimi mwenye niko underground leo nafaa kukuwa worried about? Kataka kinimulika, mistari zitaepa.
Unajua ni mafiati. Juu yenyewe ziuisha juu yenyewe wanazidingi hivyo wanasahau ghetto, na huko ndo penye mistari ziukua. Wanazidi huko mistari zina land, inabidi wamerudi kutafuta watu wa ghetto. Ndio maana nasema mimi si watambuangi.
Right? Yorifa.
Niaje?
Poa sana.
Mimi naitwa Yorifa. Na ningependa tu kuingilia hiyo question actually kujibu vile nadhani. So I think msaki wa huku chini kuna vile anakuwaga na njaa ya kumake it sana. Ukisha make it hiyo njaa inaisha. So unaanza kuenjoy. Sasa ukishafika huko juu au ni kuenjoy au enjoy life. So unapata bado anahitaji ako expected kutoa ngoma lakini ana njaa ya kutafuta ya kudig deep, kutafuta mistari, unaona? For instance kuna wasanii wenye hata nyinyi mnajua sasa hii labda hawafanyi hizo vitu walikuwa wanafanya kitambo, but mtu kuiba content yako kama msanii sioni kama kuna kitu unaweza do apart from kungangana ku make it side yako. Ukishafika huko at the top, hiyo ndio time utatuambia kitu tusikie. Mtu fulani aliiba kitu fulani na utuprovie, tuta understand. Basi hiyo ukituambia je tunaona nika hiyo jino ametumia kufiat nikanwa sasa ndio umefiat na juu hawa say kama si expect mtu mkubwa akuwa anakujua alikuibia alikujulia wapi, unaona? Hivyo hiyo ndio maswali msao kuuliza, of which in real sense hasa huko bado wanaziiba vizuri sana. Hata waziibi wanazichukua juu hakuna kitu nadu. Na wengine nikawa wamejikubali. Mimi ni mgeto. Kazi yangu tu ni kukaa geto. Tupendane tu geto, unaona? Hakuna mtu anafikiria vile nitatoka geto ni inspire msemo mwenye ako geto, like geto inaweza mtu anaweza toka, like unaona? Watu wako like hey, geto best yangu mwenye alisoma sana, maybe alifika class 8 ama form 3 kitu kaa hiyo. So mimi nikifika form 2 ama 3 ama 4 naona hey, ni big deal. So mnangoja mwingine pia ngangane apite hapo. Wewe utaki kuendelea. So hii ndio kitu nafanya. Basi wa geto anaendelea tu kuamua. Sini wa geto, yani hivyo tu, mimi ni wa geto tu, hivyo hiyo geto mchukue.
Yes.
Okay, mimi kitu yenye naweza sema ni unajua hii shida yote inaanza na packaging and branding. Kwa sababu ukiangalia wase kama kina Bill Gates hawakuanza kuwa billionaires. Unaona? There is a place yenye walianzia na before a shoot of your place yenye wako kuna the way they had secured themselves. Unaona? Wase wa ghetto tumekuwa na mentality ya sisi ni wa deadly, like umerekodi ngoma leo unataka kesho isikike. Unaona? Like huyu msee mwenye ni mbigi wewe huwezi enda kuiba ngoma yake na ukuje utumie. Unaona? Because amesha secure. Unaona? But sisi tunakuwa na ile haraka ya ni leo nimeifanya, nataka leo watu waisikie, nataka leo ifike pale. Unaona? So yeye na ile wisdom yake anajua hii kitu ni business. For him it is business. Unaona? Like Yorifa kona clothesline yake, I believe so, si ndio? Ni ngumu saa hii niende nichukue clothesline yake na niende nitembe nayo, like at the end of the day akuje kusema ile imeibiwa itanimotivate. Unanipata? Itamharibia business. Unaona? But kuna kitu yenye yeye amefanya. Ameenda ka register clothesline yake. So the moment nitaenda kutempa na clothesline yake itakuwa shida kwangu. Unaona? So every single time sio tunakaa tunalia tutasema ule msichana ni motivate niandike. So utakuwa unaandika kila siku hii ni out ikichukuliwa. Ule msichana atakuwa na make do. Ukumbuke hiyo ngoma moja inaweza msustain for 7 years. Unaona? Akimake to do. Ona ngoma za kina Jimwat mpaka wa leo zinachezwa and they are making money out of it. Unaona? So hii mentality yenye tumejiwekea venye nilikuwa nasema kwa kina Bill Gates. Every single day wanakuanga wanaamka venye mko mnasema like ile what makes you kuendelea, like una grow ama inafika place unapata msanii ameacha kuandika na nini. These people are billionaires, but every single day when they wake up they always think about making $1 million every minute. Unaona? So akona ile mentality ya business kila wakati. Na once utajiwekea kwa mind yako like yesterday's success is not my today's success. So leo lazima ni make success ingine. Unanipata? Because your refax sema aliuza manguo jana na juzi na hiyo ya ingine like akae chini aseme juu niliuza acha sasa nikae nisha make success. Item sustain hizi years zingine zinakama. Unaona? Kuna time itafika hiyo grace ya hiyo do yenye alikuwa amemake itaisha. But akiamka kila asubuhi akisema like I have to sell pack fulani leo. Unaona? Kama nilimake 3000 pieces ya clothes nataka nigonge 6000. Itafanya kila siku mind yake iko inataka ina open up ku make stacks zingine mingi, si ndio? So hakuna excuse ya ule msee aliiba, like at the end utakuwa motivated all over the years. Tukiwa umekuwa mzee ule msee alimake dona nini yako. Unaona? That's why unapata kuna watu wataka map saa hii kutumia lyric yako, next amevuma wewe utakuwa unasema unangoja time ya Mungu. Unaona? God alishakuachia, lakini sasa you have to use your mind because kuna hizi vitu za kuregister saa hii. Go and register, jitume tu mara moja. Hatuwezi sema watu wa ghetto wajishika 5k. Unaona? Ni kushua wameshika 5k. Hizi masimu wako nazo si ni do, hata kipotea sasa hiyo watapata simu nyingine watanunua. Unaona? So inamaanisha nini? They have the capability. But what are they doing? Au washajipatia ile mentality ya sisi tumetoka ghetto. Unaona? So hatuwezi fanya hivyo. Registration ni 5k. Hakuna mtu ashaitoka Runda mwingine akatoka Kayole akaambia wewe register umetoka Kayole. Unaona? So we have to push ourselves back up mpaka tufike place yenye watu wako. Unaona?
Na hii ndio ile kitu tumefanya, tumecreate space. Hii hangout ni yenyu. Wewe msanii mwenye uko peke yako mwenye unasema sina team. Because kwa hii conversation kuna msesa hii leo amelan, by the way. Yorifa angekoka ameregister hiyo jina yake 2017. But you see, year in year out, kwa hii hangout, si once tumeongea kuhusu wasanii kutake initiative ya kujiregister. But kutoka the first time tukiongea, ile time Mtiso akituambia pale hivyo anauza mziki online, watu wangapi wameenda wakaregister wakasema najitambua kama msanii, nataka kutengeneza paperwork yangu poa, niende nijiregister na brands zangu. Sheria ya copyright haijui Yorifa, haijui CS, haikujui. Sheria ule mtu atafika wa kwanza kwa ofisi na hizo makaratasi na aregister na apatiwe copyright ni yake. Ni the same thing kama saa ile tuseme siku hizi ndio nimecheki imechange. Kitambo hata YouTube ilikuwa hivyo. Ulikuwa CS kama saa hii tuseme kwa hii forum hapa wasa watapiga mistari later. Mimi unajua niko studio. Nisikie mistari za CS hata kabla wase wafike home. Hiyo ngoma nishai record. By the time namka kesho asubuhi hata ni video nafanya. By the time CS atakuwa anaenda kurekodi hiyo ngoma I upload. Hakuna mtu atakusikia. But nowadays kuna process yenye watu wanasukumana. Prove hiyo ngoma ni yako. Watu wanapelekana mpaka kotini.
And guys, that was the rappers hangout that happened on 23rd this month. And of course, you can be part of that hangout each and every month. So what you need to do is send us a message on Instagram at e_square_tv or at miccheck254. Kama you want to be part of the next hangout, to me a message and then we will get back and coordinate how you will be part of the next process. So now it's time to sit back. You'll need a pen and a paper because we want to learn. We want to learn together. And Fiona is in the building. So Fiona is a child nutritionist. She's going to be sharing how that has been for her as a person. And of course, teaching us on the right time to introduce your kid to solid foods, what you need to introduce at that particular point, and what to do if that food is actually not working for your kid. So Fiona, karibu sana kwenye show.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
Thank you so much. Yeah. My name is Fiona. I am a certified child nutritionist. I run a page, Instagram, Motherhood and Food. TikTok, the same, Motherhood and Food. Facebook, Motherhood and Food. And also I have a Facebook group, Cooking Baby Food and Snacks Info, Winning Info, Kenya. So we are going to discuss basically when you start weaning. Weaning is basically the introduction of food when at 6 months. So the whole recommendation is we start weaning at 6 months. So if your baby is below 6 months, the ideal person to tell you now you should start weaning is a pediatrician.
Okay.
Because there's guidelines where there are things your baby should have attained before you start to offer them solids.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start below 6 months, we have an issue because breast milk or formula is still their main source of nutrition. But we understand we have cases where breast milk is not available, formula is not available. So the best person to guide you on that is a pediatrician based on your baby's current progress as they are growing.
Okay.
So for me, I'm going to talk about when you start twinning for at 6 months, the recommended age. 6 months means 180 days after birth, exactly. So before you start weaning, there are things your baby should have attained. For example, proper head control.
Mm-hmm.
This is very important to prevent choking. You see, you can't start weaning a baby who can stay like this.
Okay.
They can't hold their head up. They can't sit at least a few minutes without the support, because now the airway will not be open for them to feed well. So we need a baby who can be able to hold their head and also their neck. Then we also need a situation where a baby can bring a toy from the ground up to the mouth. So hand and mouth coordination.
Okay.
That way, because we have different forms of weaning. I'll come to that later. And then we also need to understand the curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Your baby shows signs. When you are eating, they are eager to see. I want to. But remember, baby can show they want to eat below 6 months. That does not mean a baby should be weaned, because their digestive system is not yet ready to tackle solid food. So when you say your baby is crying for your spoon when you are eating, that is not a sign you should start weaning. That is perfectly normal. It is curiosity, and we encourage it. But that does not mean you should offer your baby food. So you wait until when they get to 6 months, or when you go to your clinic visit, you take the vitamin A, and your doctor tells you now it's time to start solid food. So I guess that we have shown the signs where you need, so the baby starts to weaning. Let's go to what can I offer, or let's go to different types of weaning.
Before we go to different types of weaning, you've talked about your child being able to have head balance.
Yes.
How do I achieve that with a newborn?
You see, that is a milestone. A baby being able to sit up, that is a milestone. We have babies where they sit fully without support at 9 months, but these babies can sit for certain amount of time without flopping back.
Okay.
You see, you don't want to feed a baby who is going like,
Yeah.
they can't hold
They
their
can
head.
choke,
Yeah. You imagine giving a baby a spoon, then they are like, nah, the airway will not be open. So we need babies who can be able to hold until their head for a few minutes.
Okay.
So now let's talk. There are different methods of weaning. We have the traditional way of weaning, where we start from blending, then we mash, and then to family foods. And then we have the baby-led weaning, where we start from whole foods immediately from 6 months.
Okay.
They are not taking any blended, they are not taking any mashed food, they are going directly to whole foods. And then we have the where you start with accelerated weaning, where you start with, let's say, mash or blended, and then in 7 months you dive into whole foods.
Okay.
So we have discussed the 3 ways of weaning.
Yeah.
So now let's discuss the traditional way of weaning. Traditional way of weaning means you are blending or mashing.
Okay.
So let's say your baby is at 6 months. Ideally, this is the common way of weaning babies when it comes to feeding them solids. Remember, solid at 6 months is complementary. It does not mean that your baby is now source of nutrition is solid food. No. Breast milk or formula still their main source of nutrition. You are teaching the baby, now we have banana, we have carrots, we have rice. But that does not mean you start weaning 3 meals a day or plus snacks. No, it means gently, complementary. So you are still breastfeeding, you are still offering formula while they are learning to eat the solid food.
Okay.
So when you're starting to blend the traditional way, we have progression of or transition of different texture. When you blend for so long, your baby struggle to handle the mashed food. And you mash for so long, your baby struggle to handle the family foods.
Okay.
So when you are blending food, ideally the guideline, blend food, if you start with blended, remember a 6-month baby can take blended or mashed.
Yeah.
So this is a personal choice or a method that works for your family and your baby, depending on the current situation your family is in. So when you start to blend food at 6 months, at 7 months, try to mash. Now you change the texture. Because if you stay for too long blending, the baby won't learn to take unblended food.
Okay.
So at 7 months, you start mashing. At 8 months, you start chunky mashing. Chunky mashing means you leave small bits of food into the mashed food. So in this case, you can use a fork to leave at least, a fork won't mash that finely if you just press on the food while you are mashing. And then now at around 9-10 months or so, your baby now transitions to the family foods.
Okay.
Family food, this means finger food. The food should be soft so that the baby can start chewing. We have a myth that baby to take family foods, they need to have teeth. Teeth that are necessary. The gums are strong enough to chew. Remember how when you are breastfeeding, they bite, or when they bite the nipple of the bottle and it starts wearing off. So their gums are strong enough. So the only way is that you offer food that you can easily press with your fingers. The baby will be able to chew on it and handle the thing. So try as much as possible you transition from one texture to the next to avoid having issue later at 1 year when your baby is still on mashed or blended food. So until there, now we have tackled
Different
traditional,
forms.
the traditional way of weaning. Now we have it's not common yet here, the baby-led weaning. This is where you offer whole foods to your baby. Whole foods in this case means like, for example, a banana. A banana you peel, if she'll peel for me. So a banana you peel, and then you don't use a knife. When you use a knife to cut a banana and offer to a baby, it becomes slippery. So they can't be able to hold it. So when you peel the banana, wait a minute. Sorry, it's okay. So this is a banana. So at the tip here, you press it, and then you divide it into three. How can I put? Into 3 ways, like this.
Does that come with any benefits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go to that. So you see, when you divide the banana into 3 ways, it is not slippery.
Okay.
You see, you can still hold it. You see, it's not slippery. You can still hold it. But when you use a knife, the baby can't hold. This is why. At 6 months, the baby uses the whole palm to grasp food. So they hold food like this. And that's why we say finger food. This is a finger food. Finger food is the shape of the food. So, in general sense, how you offer finger food, it should be the shape of your 2 fingers. When you combine your 2 fingers like this, so the baby can be able to hold it together and eat and all that.
Okay.
So I hope you are getting the drift what is whole foods and offering now to baby food. So when it comes to baby-led weaning, you are not spoon feeding. You are letting the baby pick up the food, feed themselves, and eat. Remember, it's not about the amount the food the baby eats, because breast milk or formula is still their main source of nutrition. It is the exposure. So you find cases where babies are not eager to eat mashed or blended food. In this case, try and transition to the whole foods. If you need ideas how to serve different forms of food, you can check my Instagram page. I have reels where you can show how to serve whole foods for self-feeding, because I started self-feeding at 7 months. We didn't blend, we mashed at 6 months lately. Then at the end of 6 months, we started with the whole foods. So I did the accelerated weaning, not basically baby-led weaning, but accelerated. But now from 7 months, it was completely self-feeding.
Okay.
So that's why if you need help, I do still do consultation on baby-led weaning. You can reach out on that.
Okay.
So we have done on methods of weaning.
Yes.
Another question is, what is the right food should I start with when I start to wean? Okay. Now when it comes to this, how we were brought up or how our moms teach us is, you were brought up on malenge, potatoes, and spinach for I don't know how many months. Now this one becomes a problem. Why? Baby needs variety. Because imagine offering a baby every day pumpkin, banana, spinach. Eventually they get bored. Now a baby gets to 10 months or 1 year, they don't want those food anymore. Now introducing new foods becomes a problem. So the current guidelines, we have no restrictions on the type of food.
Okay.
The only restrictions we have is when we are introducing the common allergens. The common allergens in this case, there are 9, we can say 9. They include dairy, eggs, wheat. We have soy products, fish, shellfish, sesame seeds, and I don't know if I've forgotten some. So we have shellfish, peanuts, and tree nuts. Tree nuts in this case refers to cashew nuts, almonds, such. Peanuts is the normal njugu that we take. So only the common allergens we guide on how to introduce. Each allergen should be introduced on their own, meaning like roughly every week on its own. Let's say you offer Monday neg. So for the whole that week, no other allergens, or let's say 5 days. That way you are able to observe any reaction your baby has. with babies with eczema, we have special cases where the guideline is a bit different. But now you see every week you offer new allergen. So if your baby, for the rest of the week, you observe how your baby react. And it can cause a reaction, let's say tummy ache, your baby is uncomfortable when they're sleeping, diarrhea, constipation, vomiting, rashes where the skin came into contact with the food, or maybe after eating just rashes all over the bubble, the baby's itchy, scratching. Now you know your baby is allergic to that food. So only the common allergens we have away every 5 days or a week. When it comes to the other food, these are the butternut, spinach. Before, the guideline was every new food every 3 days. The current guideline, that is not applicable anymore. Reason being, it makes baby bored. Imagine a baby eating butternut for 3 days that you are looking for allergies. They just see that plate with butternut and they're like, no, today I'm not doing this again. No, mama, today you are coming too much. Yeah. So what happens is you can offer new food daily. Okay. There is no restriction. Today a baby eats butternut and spinach. Tomorrow, rice and dengu. So there's no issue. Unfortunately, babies can react to anything. You just have to observe and now note down how your baby reacted after eating dengu, beans, and all that. Okay. So we have talked, so meaning a mother can start with vegetables, sweet potato, spinach, carrots, fruit, banana, watermelon. But remember, variety is important because breast milk and formula are naturally sweet. So if you focus so much on the sweet food, your baby may start rejecting the foods that are not so sweet. Okay. So we need variety and balance. So mix all together, mix them so that the baby can be able to taste this and that. Remember, they have acquired the taste when you are breastfeeding. Yeah. So all that. So have a variety so that the baby doesn't struggle in taking solids.
Okay, and is there a specified amount of food that I'm supposed to give?
There is, okay, per the guidelines is 2 to 3 spoons per teaspoons actually per feed, because breast milk is still their main source of nutrition. But now, if your baby eats more, that is a bonus. We have expectation versus reality. Most moms think my baby should finish a certain amount of food to believe that the baby has eaten. That is very wrong because remember, the baby has breastfed before, so and maybe the food is not that sweet to their palate, they don't want more. So forcing becomes an issue. Forcing, you create a bad relationship with food. So if the first time your baby just ate 1 spoon and the next spoon is coming with rejection, that is enough. Remember, you're still breastfeeding, you're still offering formula. So small amounts of food are enough, 2 to 3 spoons. And remember, when you're beginning to win, 1 meal a day is enough. A maximum of 2. If you are having issue, maybe the milk supply with formula issue, but not more. You overfeed the baby, you lead to issues with constipation. Remember, the baby is used to digesting liquid diet. Yeah. So imagine a 6-month baby start offering 3 meals plus snacks. The system becomes overwhelming, they can't digest it, now constipation happens. So in the beginning, 1 meal is enough. Okay. 2 to 3 teaspoons. If they eat more, well and good, that is a bonus. If they refuse after 1 spoon, that is good too. It's a new journey. Be patient. They are warming up to eat. Yeah.
Okay. I have a curious question. We've said 6 months is the recommended age for introducing your child to solid food.
Yes.
What happens in the case whereby your child is 2 months and they're already eating? And in the case that, let's say we are past 7 months and my kid is not eating solid food.
Okay. You see, that's why I was saying, below 6 months, make sure you are talking to your pediatrician because they are the only one who can tell you your baby is growing well or not. And that's why we have the graph and the charts and all that. A 2-month baby can't handle solid food. They are missing out on the important nutrients they need to grow. Unfortunately, we have those cases. I wouldn't like to say that you are doing wrong because I know circumstances can lead to issues where you just there. Yeah. But in such a case below 6 months, make sure you are working hand in hand with a pediatrician so that your baby is growing well and meeting their daily needs on what they need. Okay. Above now 6 months, at 7 months, you have said the baby is not warming up into solid. Yeah. Be patient. That is where now we start trying different weaning method. Maybe your baby is just not into blended food. Some babies prefer what is on your plate rather than what is on their plate. Because imagine a baby's blended food and they can see on your plate you have rice, beef, veggies, and theirs is just mashed thing or blended food on a bowl. They are like, this one is not working. So in such a case, try and transition to the next texture. It can be mashing or it can be whole food. So you try and see what works for your baby or why your baby is not eating. So, and some babies prefer eating from your plate. That one is still fine. The only thing you eliminate below 1 year is salt.
Okay.
No salt, because salt is available on the whole foods, plus the breast milk and formulas they're eating, they get enough sodium. Also iodine is still in food like egg and all that. So you limit, no salt below 1. You can still share a plate with your baby, just eliminate the salt and your baby is good to go with feeding. Yeah.
Okay. We've talked about a banana. Are there other fruits that are recommended for, let's say, 6 to 1 year? And are there also fruits that you wouldn't recommend for a 6 to 1 year old?
Actually, there is no. That is the beauty of the current guideline. All the foods are way to go. The only thing we limit below 1 year is added salt. But remember, added salt does not mean your baby food should be bland. No. We have spices and herbs for that. A small pinch of cumin, turmeric, paprika goes a long way to elevating the food, elevating the taste of the food. So salt, as much as there's no salt, does not mean your baby food. You just boil and mash it and give it to your baby. Who wants that? They have been breastfeeding and they can taste a bit of garlic, a bit of ginger in your breast milk. So why are you just boiling and mashing and offering? No. So you have spices to replace now the salt. And then added sugar, we have fruits like banana, apples to add, let's say sweetening porridge, oatmeal, fruit smoothie. So you can use fruits. You can use things like dates in moderation, of course, because they have high sugar content, but at least they are not raising the blood sugar. So you have dates, raisins, fruits to add of the sugar. Other things we are not offering below 1 is processed meats like sausages, smoky. Yeah. They can come after 1 in moderation, but below 1 we are still not offering. Another thing is cow milk as a drink. Cow milk can be used in recipes. Not every day, of course, but in moderation. But now as a drink become an issue because too much cow milk leads to low iron levels. Low iron levels lead to issues like poor weight gain, poor appetite. So no cow milk as a drink below 1 year. In a case where you need to offer cow milk, please ensure you are talking to the nutrition to ensure your baby is growing well per the recommended weight and growth and all that. So, and also we have things like honey. Honey under no circumstances should be offered below 1 year. Okay. It has a toxin. It can lead to issue botulism, which can lead to floppy behavior. They don't want to breastfeed, weakness on the muscle. So no honey below 1 year. Then we have undercooked meat and eggs. Ensure the food is well cooked so that there's no bacteria and that can lead to infection and all that. So it is very important to cook baby food well and preserve it well so that there's no multiplication of bacteria and all that. So before offering the baby.
Okay. I checked your profile. Niliona, you also offer winning recipes.
Yes.
Maybe you can share with that.
Okay, so when you check my page, Motherhood and Food, for example, Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, for example, I have a lot of recipes. The reason why I do recipes is because most of the time parents are confused. What can I offer my baby? When you call your mom, for example, they tell, I was there, I know. When I call my mom, tell me, you just offer malenge and you mash it up and you offer your baby. But you know, when I was a picky eater. So winning for me was a daunting task. I didn't want to start that journey because I knew I was picky. So the reason why I started this journey is because it was because of me. I didn't want because you remember in our time you were beaten if you are not eating. I was that child where you are not eating, you are pinched or whipped or all that. But now, remember now, when I came to understand that there's a lot babies can eat, anything we eat as an adult, a baby can eat, apart from now the foods we have said below 1 year should not be offered. So for example, you don't necessarily need to start boiling food. You can add onion, you can add oil from 6 months. So it doesn't have to be always boiled food. And also, your baby can eat from the same sufuria you're cooking on. Let's say you have cooked ugali, spinach, and meat. They can eat from the same pot, only that you serve their food before adding salt and spices that has high in salt below 1 year. But the rest they can eat. You just take the piece of ugali, spinach, and a bit of, if the meat is not soft, the soup of the meat, you just mix it together and offer the baby. And the baby enjoys the meat because you are eating the same meal. So literally, so babies can eat anything. So, but if you are struggling, I have meal plans, I have recipes to start. All that are from my Instagram page. It's easy to follow. Yeah.
Okay. It's true. Babies can eat anything.
Yeah.
And you've also made it clear. It's good to discover new foods each and every day. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So you've also talked about weight. So as a mother, how do I keep check of my child's weight to avoid maybe things like malnutrition, overweight, and all that?
Now let's discuss overweight. Okay, overweight I have, like say for example, your baby is 6 months, 12 kgs. And then you think your baby should not be weaned at 6 months. No, you start weaning at 6 months.
Okay.
Because once your baby starts crawling, walking, the weight will always stabilize itself. You will find they won't add more when solid food starts to be offered. So they eventually go back to the graph and fall according to their weight and their height and all that. So if your baby is overweight, you should still wean. For babies who are born premature, you always need to work with your pediatrician. Now he or she will guide you when is the right time to start soling. So remember, this one I am talking to a baby who was born full term, normal weight, normal everything. So this is a guideline for a baby who is just full term baby. So in special cases where we have babies born with our special child, like cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, so that's one of special cases. Always work with a nutritionist and a pediatrician to be guided well. But in general sense, our overweight baby should still be fed. One of the ways to prevent, as we have said, malnutrition is offering the required number of meals the baby needs. At 6 and 7 months, they can eat a maximum of 2 meals a day. That one is enough for them because breast milk and formula still offers their main source of calories. 8 to 12 months, they can eat 3 meals a day. Below 1, they don't need snack. And what is a snack? Below 1, everything offered is counted as a meal. Be it a fruit smoothie, that is a meal.
Okay.
Be it uji, uji is not an appetizer, please. Uji is not an appetizer. So be it uji, it's a meal. Be it fruit smoothie, that is a meal. So for example, let's say a 9-month-old baby.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you offer uji for breakfast. And then you offer lunch, banana, avocado, milk smoothie. And then for dinner, rice and dengu. Those are the 3 meals a day. Meals are not rice and dengu, chapati and beans. Those are not the only meals. Everything you offer below 1 year,
it's a meal.
It's a meal, exactly. You count it as a meal. Yeah.
Got it.
Yes,
Got it.
we count it as a meal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, speaking of meals, what shouldn't I miss on my, let's say, 6 to 1 year old's diet?
Now you see, when it comes in the beginning, saying a balanced diet can be a little bit of a tricky. Because you see, when you offer an avocado mixed with formula, that is enough for that baby. Okay. So necessarily, it's not about balancing the meals per se. At 9 months, it will come, or 8 months, it will come. But in the beginning, it's all about teaching your baby. Apart from breast milk and formula, we have carrots. A carrot puree, let's say you mix with beetroot, that is enough. You see now there's no meat, we can't say that is not a balanced meal. At that age, that is enough. So generally you start small while you are building up and adding. Remember, meat can be offered from 6 months.
Oh, wow.
It's not about an issue that 1 year we start offering. Before the guideline was like things like eggs we offer at 1 year because of allergy issue. The current guideline is from 6 months because the more you delay, the more there's potential allergy reaction.
Okay.
So from 6 months, we start offering things like eggs, peanut butter, and all that. So you start in small amounts while you're good. So hii maneno ya kila saa, porridge and I don't know what, let's keep it at, you reduce amount. We can't be taking porridge every day. It becomes the baby. You see, we have cases where the baby sees the bowl and start crying. And then you say, my baby is very fussy. When he or she just sees my bowl, starts crying. Baby just like us. When you go to a restaurant, when food is served, what is your first reaction? If the food is served well, you are eager to eat. You enjoy it.
Yeah.
The same way when it comes to feeding our little ones. It starts with the eyes. The baby might not talk and say, Mommy, I know this is porridge, I am done. No, they can see and know this is, okay, this is porridge coming. Yesterday it was porridge, this is porridge. 2 weeks later it's still porridge for breakfast. It is still porridge. No, they start crying even before you sit down. So baby eats with all their senses. Sight, touch, smell. And it's the reason why I advocate for allow messy feeding. Allow the baby to touch the food, to explore. Remember, even if you're offering blended food, it's okay to serve on the side non-blended food. If you're offering blended banana or mashed banana, it's okay to serve whole banana the way I've splitted it on the side. Let the baby touch it.
Okay.
Let the baby bite it. They might gag, which is normal. We'll come into gagging and choking later. But it's very important to offer variety.
Okay.
Because when you offer variety, you also maximize the nutrients your baby is getting. It's not the same thing over and over. And one of the ways to prevent malnutrition or issues with weight is offering variety so that the baby gets. And above all, breast milk on formula, still important until they are 1 year.
Okay.
Mhm.
Before I let you go, how do I prevent choking? And what are some of the home remedies to, let's say, if my kid chokes on food?
Okay. Now, let's talk about gagging and choking. Gagging is a reflex where it occurs to prevent choking. Okay. As an adult, our gag reflex is at the back of our, at the throat here. For babies, it is almost here. So, a baby, a gag reflex is the reason why, you see when you're spoon feeding, you might push the spoon too far, they gag. Or when they are full. The baby is full, but you are still insisting they eat. Now they vomit everything they had eaten. It's very important to understand your fullness cues of your baby. If they eat 3 spoons and say they start turning their head like this, they don't want to eat anymore, it is a high time to say that meal session is enough. If they were actively eating for the first 10 minutes and the rest is war, or you are warming up the food, imagine eating for 1 hour. 1 hour, that one now is overwhelming, even for the baby, and frustrating to even to the caregiver or the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
So it is important to notice your baby's active feeding window. If your baby is active the first 15 minutes and then they are not interested, that is enough. So when you offer gagging, a baby can choke on any form. It can be whole food, blended, mashed. That's why we insist no force feeding.
Okay.
When it comes to feeding their baby. It is important they understand. Gag reflex is very important. You see when you put food in the mouth of the baby and they push out, we call it the tongue thrust reflex. In the beginning, it might be there when you put food and they just push it out. Which one is normal? They outgrow it. But now gagging is the and the sound they make. That one is very important because it shows they are protecting now the choking, and they are also knowing, they are learning, hey, that one I put it too far. I need to bite small. I need that. So it is encouraged. So when a baby gags, don't scream. Encourage. You are doing fine. I know it is scary. I have been there. It is very scary. You put it a straight face and telling your baby, it's okay. You are doing fine. Just, and they vomit. Like you see in my case, when he would gag extremely, that will be the end of the meal session. And that one is fine because if I forced it, it will be frustrating. So you end it there if your baby is not interested to continue, and we breastfed or formula in other cases, and you offer. And so gagging is very important. Actually, we love it. When you tell me your baby gagged, it's very important. And gagging not only means the food they are eating, even the texture. Sometimes avocado to some baby is so slippery, it just tastes that way. So they might gag on the texture, and it's very normal. But remember, gagging does not mean your baby hates that food. It's just the response to the texture, to how it felt on their mouth. So gagging is encouraged. The same way, I had forgotten, when you offer food, let's say spinach and carrot, for example, and your baby refuses that meal, that does not mean your baby hates that meal. How can you hate something you have never tasted? It is impossible. They are just warming up to the journey. So make sure you are still rotating it in the diet so the baby gets exposure is key. If my baby refuses banana today, does not mean he or she hates it. It's tomorrow you offer banana in a different way. Can be on pancake, can be on a smoothie, it can be on uji, oatmeal. So literally, is continue offering even if they refuse to eat that food. Unless it causes a severe allergic reaction, that one you eliminate it completely.
Okay, we have a couple of comments in the comment section.
It's okay.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for staying tuned for Eastland's Expressions. We have Musumba Felix, anasema loving the show, tuned in from Chicago. Hi Felix, it's nice to always have you on the show. Steve Biko anasema nyoso ni okay, hiyo tutaongea na co-host wangu later, but thank you so much for that correction, Steve Biko. He's also saying the hangout was so informative. Nimependa for real. Thank you so much. Ambia expert anakaa fiti, nitamfollow.
Mwambie karibu. Nakuaga fiti pia kwa recipes.
Takufollow back. Ian Josh, thank you so much. He has a question. Anasema, can you give examples of finger foods, or you can shape any food to a finger food?
Yeah, you can shape any food to a finger food. For example, sweet potato. If you boil it till soft, you roll it up and roll it like a rod shape, you offer your baby. Or you slice it and cut into strips. That is a finger food. Let's say the issue might be with rice, for example, but also rice, you can mix it with, say chicken, a bit of vegetable, you mash it up and roll it, and that is a form of a finger food. Remember, finger food is something the baby can hold on the palm. And remember, 6 months, we said they are using the whole palm. It's called the whole palm. So you need to save it in form of finger food. But at 9 months, the pincer grip has developed. They can use the thumb and their forefinger to pick up the food. So in such a time, you can cut into small shapes that are not overwhelming the baby, and they can pick it up and feed themselves. So yeah, any food, they can, even ugali. Ugali is a very good food when you're starting baby led. It is soft. It dissolves in the mouth. So it is easy for the baby to eat and feed themselves. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Steve Bacon, there's a question I asked the doctor that was in the show, and she said a nutritionist will explain. Why can't babies be given cow milk without adding water, and what quantity of water should I add?
No, as I said below, as I said before, cow milk as a drink should be offered at 1 year. The reason why we say this is because cow milk is imbalanced. It is high in protein and all the other things. So it is imbalanced. It takes longer to digest. So a baby who is taking a lot of cow milk may not feel hungry. So you can imagine how they are missing on the essential nutrients they should be eaten because they don't feel the hunger. So that is the reason why we say cow milk should be wait until above 1 year. In a case where you are advised by your pediatrician to dilute and offer, that one you follow according to the guideline. But as for me, I will tell you cow milk above
1 year.
1 year.
Okay. Steve Biko again, mini mgeto. Weaning ni nini? Munanipoteza.
Oh, weaning is the introduction of solids at 6 months. Meaning, your baby below 6 months was only taking breast milk or formula. So weaning is the introduction of things like sweet potatoes, mango, watermelon, avocado. And that is why we call it complementary feeding. It is complementing the breast milk and the formula intake. It is not their main source of nutrition yet. Yeah.
Okay. Mwangi, hi Mwangi. Thank you so much for staying tuned. And I'm at Steve Biko. Okay, I'm explaining here, Steve Biko. Thank you so much for that. But I'll just read the comment. Weaning is the process of switching an infant's diet from breast milk or formula to other foods and fluids.
Yes.
But don't forget the bit that we are just supplementing it.
Yes.
It's a supplement.
Yes, it is a supplement
Yeah.
complementing. Yes.
Complementing
Yes,
breast
yes,
milk.
yes.
Liz Atieno. Hi Liz, thank you so much for joining us. Anasema, I'm loving the conversations, learning so much as a new mom. How do you handle gargling, which might lead to choking, especially when offering roughly mashed food or whole meal? I think you explained
Yeah,
that.
we have explained that.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have. We have said that gagging is very much, we encourage it because gagging prevents choking. Gagging helps your baby learn the amount of food they should take. It helps them, I should not put the spoon too deep if they are picking up the spoon. They learn to, so gagging is encouraged. It is very normal. Before a baby chokes, as much as we have cases where it happens, it's not that common if you're offering the shape appropriately and the food you are not forcing. The point is no force feeding because also your baby is seated. I've seen cases where we run, where you chase the baby eating. Now that one is a high risk of choking because the baby is not settled up. So one of the reasons also we encourage good feeding habits is sharing mealtime. In most cases, we find cases where babies are seated, fed first, and then the rest of the family sit to feed. That one should be discouraged because also a way of baby learn to chew is by observing you. So chewing is not automatic. That's why I find cases where consultation where my baby is 4 years, can't chew because it is not automatic. They have to be so exaggerate how you are chewing. Chew with your mouth open. Make sound, nyam, nyam. Yes. Take it in. Yeah, exaggerate how you are chewing. That is the only baby. It is fun. It is weird, but that is the only way your infant will learn to chew food. It is not automatic. So it is, you can't just expect if I serve food here, they will eat. Even babies who are not taught to chew, because we have cases where mom says, I never taught my baby to chew, but they chew. They observed. You ate. They watched you. How you are moving food from the other side of the mouth to the other side of the mouth. And they learned, when I put food in my mouth, I do and then chew. So that's where it comes from. So it is very important to sit with your baby and eat. Even when you are leaving the nanny and all that, just tell them when you are eating with the little one, sit in front of them. You can share a plate to exaggerate. Make it fun for them to learn how to chew. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Fiona.
You're welcome.
Yes, and one last question as I let you leave. Liz, the same lady who has commented, some time back she asked a question on eczema, and you also mentioned it as we were talking. So maybe briefly tell us what that is and how I can take charge of that.
So, as much as eczema is related to diet, we have other external factors like dust, pollen that affect the flare up. So when it comes to introducing a food to a baby who has eczema, it is very important to keep a food journal. So that way you are able to note down how a food reacted to when you fed your baby. Okay. So things like the common allergens, you start with very small amounts in the beginning. Small amounts in this case means, for example, an egg, if you boil it, a quarter of it, you mashed it up and add it in uji or oatmeal or a certain food. It is enough to show an allergic reaction. You don't have to offer the whole egg to see like my baby's reacting to that. Things like common allergens, start small. Peanut butter, a quarter teaspoon you add and offer the baby. Remember, a baby can react to peanut butter, but may not react to tree nuts, almond butter, cashew nut butter. So it is very important to keep a food journal. And eczema, as much as we set aside the 8 common allergens I had talked about, the dairy and all that, it's very important to know a baby can react to anything. There's no, unfortunately, we can't say that if you feed your baby this, it's going to cause a reaction. So in such cases where we have babies with eczema, it is very important to keep a food journal. You are able to see how your baby reacts to it. At the same time, if it's not necessarily the food, you look for creams that suit the skin. Environmental, if it is dust, make sure you clean often. So that the baby at least can be able to be at least comfortable, because no one wants to scratch themselves all the time for 24 hours a day. So it is very important. If your baby reacts to milk, yogurt they can't take, for example, we have variety. The coconut yogurt, you offer that. If your baby can't take an egg at all, you have tried and the egg has refused, eliminate it, the baby will still get all the benefits from other source. And that is the point we say. One food alone cannot make your baby to be underweight or low in nutrition. We have a lot of foods we can offer and still meet the daily required amounts for their proper growth and development.
Okay. I've seen a couple of more questions. Ian Josh and Oliza, can babies be given bread with, let's say, blueband, margarine?
Yes, bread, yes. Bread babies can eat from 6 months in various form. It can be, for example, if you are doing baby-led weaning, the common one we call in Kenya tosti mayai.
Yeah.
We have different flavors. You can check my page for tosti mayais, from orange flavor, lemon. A lot of things can be offered. So you just cut them appropriately. You can even mash it and dip in something and offer. For margarine, I would keep it at a minimum because of the type of fat it consists. But peanut, ghee, butter, they are safe alternatives to offer.
Okay. Two last questions.
It's okay.
One actually. Liz and Oliza, could you illustrate how fast and the correct way of handling serious choking on baby, because babies have died as a result of choking?
Yeah, I would say it should be the best way to handle cases with choking. If we are really, the reason why I believe most parents delay introducing family foods to their baby is the fear of choking. But the best way to handle that is going for a course that helps with dealing with that. For example, Red Cross offer courses. We have pages we have also pages in Instagram that can deal. I can't remember the name of the page, but if that person DM me, I can check the page. We also have cases like Nairobi Hospital. At times they offer once in a month or so, I believe they do offer training to nannies and parents to how to deal with choking. So if that is the fear why you are not offering family food, it is very important to take a course, you and your nanny and the other family in your family hall, so that you feel safe and equipped and all that. Because if I sit here and tell you if your baby is choking, do that, sometimes you don't even remember what I said. So it is very important to go that hands-on training so that you can be comfortable when you are feeding your little one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And as much as you're a certified nutritionist, Fiona, you're also a mother.
Yes.
So
yes,
what
yes.
do you love about being a mother?
Me?
Yeah.
What can I say? The new things you see your baby learning. The thing I don't love is the tantrum part. Sometimes the tantrum can be overwhelming, and I understand. By the way, never feel guilty of just taking a break and saying, you know what, today I've had enough. Your nanny or your spouse comes home and say, now this one is your problem. Please deal with it. There's nothing wrong with that, of seeking help. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, seek help. Mothers, we have an issue of saying that we can take it all. Unfortunately, we can't, because eventually you will burn out, you will break down. So it is important to seek help so that you can be able, for your mental health too, for you to be able to give them. Remember, in your baby's eyes, even if you scold them or you shout at them once in a while, you are still perfect. And that is the thing you remember. So for you to be perfect for them, your mental health should also be there. It's very important for you to be there so that you can be able to tackle your baby and all that. But the beauty I enjoy motherhood is the little smiles, is the little, when you go home and they start talking and call you mama, you feel like, I did a good job.
Okay.
No matter the days I felt like, what did I get myself into? Because we all know sometimes babies come planned, unplanned, and we are there and all that. So yeah, tell yourself I'm doing good. Every day you wake up, no matter how yesterday was, always say I'm doing good and always seek help. And you see, eventually they will grow up and yeah, this all will be memories. Now that time will be calling them and they saying that, hey, I'm not coming. And you can remember the way you stayed up at night breastfeeding and burping and you never slept. So yeah, the small things makes me happy when I just see him and he's fine. He's a him, by the way, so he's fine and all that. So I just feel good, yeah. So to me, motherhood has been a learning experience. That's how I bumped into this feeding and all that. So I can't say it's all bad. It's good and bad at the same time, but the good are good and the bad can be too bad, yeah. But one day at a time. Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Where can you find you on social media?
As I said before, Motherhood and Food KE on Instagram, Motherhood and Food TikTok, and Motherhood and Food Facebook group, Cooking Baby Food and Snacks, and Winning Info Kenya.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate you for having me, and was nice actually. My first time. Actually, if my followers from Instagram are seeing me, this is my first time. Hi. I
was-
love you too.
It was a pleasure having you for the
Me
first
too.
time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
And thank you for the lessons.
Yeah, until next time, we can do this again. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, it has been a whole class. Definitely we learn kitu. Yes. Tell us on the comment section what you've picked from the conversation. And of course, this conversation is still going to be up on YouTube at E_Square TV. You can interact with it. You can share with new moms. You can share with your friends. Anyone that might be of benefit with this kind of conversation that we have had with Fiona. So we're taking a quick breather, but when we come back, we're coming back to Imani and Amani. Yani just blessings upon blessings. It is a beautiful Saturday, so take a look at this video.
Do you think wasanii wa hip hop wa Kenya wamestick to hiyo route na wana represent vile inafaa?
Hip hop ya Kenya manze, naona sai sio watu wengine wanafanya hip hop by that. Genge limekuwa viral sana kwa watu wote na drill. Unaona sai watu wengine hata hawezi jua meaning ya hip hop, labda umemjamaa drill juu hata Kenya ukiangalia kwa hip hop watu sana.
Okay, kitu yenye mimi naweza adapt hapo about hip hop. Hip hop ya Kenya. Hip hop ya Kenya sasa inajaribu, na hip hop ya Kenya ina marapa wakali. Lakini kitu yenye unakuja unapata pia inachanganisha vijana wanadu hip hop kali, lakini waiki ile content. Waiki kitu yani is like sema kama msee mwenye sasa ana make hip hop hapa Kenya, hawa sasa ni wakubwa kutajika wenye wana make hip hop. Wale wase ni wanoma, hadi ukisikia wakiroga ni wanoma. Lakini sasa kitu imechanganisha mayutu wa saa hii ni about gengeton. Juu pia gengeton wanaekelea rap, nini wanaekelea rap. Lakini ukisikia rap ya gengeton ni tofauti sana na rap. Seme na rap yenye iko na content.
Maybe niko hapa na mimi wanaandika tu mistari bora ni flow. Sijui kama naimba gengeton ama naimba hip hop. Sijui niko wapi. Unaweza msaidia aje huyo msee ku understand the difference between hii genre ya muziki na hii ni kitu fulani.
Jua culture shit unadu. Jua culture kitu unadu. Unadu hip hop, jua culture hip hop. Unadu genge, jua culture genge. Unajua drill, jua culture drill. Usidu kitu na ujui your culture. At the end of the day wasa wakisikia watajua tu kuna kitu watajua ni nini. Napata.
So let me ask a very difficult question. Nataka kuuliza swali ngumu sana. Kwa hizo vitu zote tumesema, soko iko wapi? Because tusipopata soko then inamaanisha kuna kitu ina miss. Soko ya ile mziki tunafanya. Wacha nianze kwa kusema wewe mali uko, what is the challenge ile uko nayo na mziki ile unafanya? Uko wapi? What stage? Because I want to believe sisi wote tuko kwa different stages kwa hiyo jani ya mziki. Wewe mali uko ni challenge gani uko nayo?
Kwanza hii place ya kufanya muziki kwanza. Kufanya muziki by the way inakuwa hard juu ya ganji. Na pia marketing pia inahitaji ganji. Hapo tu ndio mimi nasikia.
Ume record?
Yeah, nimerecord.
Tracks ngapi ama album ama?
Nimerecord song moja na collabo kadhaa za maeneo Empire.
Nice.
Hizo ndio za common. Na wengine unapata kama jamaa umesukuma link sasa naangalia na kupiga na kwambia so mjamaa wangu na wewe ukienda hivi YouTube ukiangalia unapata body iko tu pale pale, unaona sasa hizo ndio challenges tu pass through. Wengine unapata wengine wanakupiga kwa street
Wasanii hakuna venye wako Trapper.
Naweza sema challenge big sana na kuaga hapa Kenya. Ni mimi najuaga kutoka TNA. Ni Kenya hatusupporting talent. Tuna support popularity. Ongea juu ya Cardinali, ongea juu ya Brooklyn Boys, ongea juu ya sijia kina nani. Lakini nasikia kuna watu wanakuja hapo chini. Unapigwa blue tick nyingine kali. Na uko na kitu wenyewe kisikika hapo juu. Ni kitu ina make sense. So unapataga hiyo challenge ni ngori sana. Alafu kitu kingine ni music ni capital. Lazima utafute do ka record. After kurecord sasa tumemaliza jani. Ukitoka hapo unataka lazima upige video nyingine imeoga. At least mtu anaweza ona ndo ikutafutie mahali, ikupige shughuli fulani. Unapata umekaa chini jo umespend like 15k. Umengangana umepiga hadi video. Mazima ngangana kupush malink nini ma TV station unajaribu kuenda. Ukifika hapo kitu ya kwanza, huyo jamaa umeenda kwake huyo. Ndachezea video yako hapo kwa TV. Hizi video tunaona zinachezwa hizi lazima uko unajua mtu huko. Unaona? Lazima uko na mtu anakujua hapa ama anajua kuna venye anajua na huko juu ndio akujue. So unapata lazima ngoma yako ikitaka kuchezwa hata kwa radio station, kwa TV station, lazima uko kaganji fulani lazima uko umetoboka. So unapata ni kuspend. Unapata unaweza spend hata 40k in return inarudi nothing. Inarudi nothing. Hauna kitu. So mpaka unapata watu wengine wame give up na music. Wengi sana wame give up na music. Jua shit kama hizo. Unaitwa interview unafika poa. After interview hivi unaitwa hapo kama namba ni aje. Sisi unajua hizo toka hivyo. Umefika ulikuwa umeambiwa tu ni interview mtu wangu nafika hivi tena unapata
yeah.
Lazima utoboke. Hauna ganji au masaa. So vitu zingine pia zimefanyika ni like hiyo ni challenge nimepitia. Kuna producer fulani ana record drill anaitwa 11 Dimension. Ndo producer deadly drill mzima Kenya according to me. Nenda ana producer sanika wote wa drill. So unapata like amekuspot pale street manzi ama umetema kitu fire. Anakwambia ni aje kama unakaa unajua kiingia hivi kwa ofisi. Unaangi rules and regulations hapo kuna vitu zimekuwa hapo. Sasa wewe amekuspot from lawyer maybe IG ama amekusikia mtaani ama amelinkiwa na best yake fulani. So amekuita stu, umefika yeye unaona hii ni stu fulani. Naijua naiona tu mtandao wasanii wa big na anakuja hapa. So anakuencourage mse anasikia ile kitu uko nayo, anakuwekea beat anakurecord. After amemaliza kukurecord na kila kitu ngoma iko poa na kwa pale. Ukienda unasikia tena instrumental peke yake ni 3k. Kurecord ni 1k. Kufanya mastering ni 2k. Hizo ngoma yote ndio itokea hapo inahitaji 10k. Unamwangalia hivi unashindwa. Vitu kama hizo zinafanyanga watu na give up na music.
Yeah. What are you doing wewe? Hizo challenges unaziface. Ni strategy gani wewe umejiwekea kusema okay fine. Nataka kungangana nayo mpaka nifike. Si ndio? Because ndio uko hapa leo inamaanisha bado uko kwa game. Bado una fight, bado unaamini ipo siku au sio? Ni nini wewe unafanya yenye na keep going, yenye na make hope? Bado niko na chance. Because maybe kuna kitu utasema mimi sijaifikiria nione kweli? Na tutarudi kwa hiyo. Tutaongea sana kuhusu hiyo because hiyo ndio ile part of whatever Trap alikuwa anasema. Ukiingia studio, for instance umeingia hapa, Black Boy wamekuita, wamesema Trap tumecheki links zako kwa Insta. Mistari. Ukiingia hapa, expectation iko kwa nani? Nani anafaa kuexpect nini?
Maishani mwangu yeye atawale,
Amani,
Yeah, I'm Amani.
Imani.
And Amani.
Yeah. Pleasure, manze. You guys are amazing artists,
Thank
but
you.
from venye tumeongea, you guys are way more than
Yeah,
just singers.
artists.
sindio?
Yeah.
But let's start on Kenya Tushaona. Where did the song Atawale come from?
Oh, it came from our mom, and she's one who made it with her other friend.
So she wrote, yeye ndo aliandika the song. Ah, shout out mom. It's a good song.
Yeah, thank you.
So when I talked to you guys hapo nyuma, tuliget ku know each other a bit.
Yeah.
Na nika realize that she's a very crucial part of your creative process, ndio?
Yeah.
Like mna feeling aje yani ukiperform wimbo yenye una honor your mom through yourself?
It feels amazing because she's the one who even started supporting us from the first minute, and she's always been there for us.
Wow.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Wow, so kidogo nataka tuguzie vitu zingine zenye mnafanyanga, labda viewers hawajui bado. So apart from artists of music, you guys are also poets.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, and you have really nice, really relevant poems zenye mna performingi. So inspiration yenyu ya poems ama so far kuna zenye mmeandika ama bado ni mom ndio the author?
Mom is the one who writes for us, and then we say it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So mom is the creative process behind
Yeah,
poems and music.
Yeah.
But kuna kitu ingine tena bado mko na talent ingine tena.
Yeah.
Yeah, narrating in terms of writing, sindio?
Yeah, in writing, I've written my first book, which I'm currently publishing. And yeah, it's my first ever book, and I'm on the second one now. It's actually available.
Wow. Yeah. How old? You said?
13.
13, and she's already a writer. Just imagine. You guys are doing a very wonderful job.
Thank you.
Very wonderful job. Also, speak a bit about the book. Maybe, may I know about it, but maybe the viewers want to know kidogo ni about nini, inspiration ilitoka wapi, uliandika wapi.
Okay, so the title of the book is Leah the Overcomer, and it's based on this girl who goes through a lot of troubles, but finally overcomes it. And I started that book during the pandemic. I had a lot of time on my hands, so I wanted to do something with that time. So slowly by slowly, I started writing with I just started handwriting on my book. And then I told my mom, and then she was really supportive of it. And then we started on soft copy. And then slowly by slowly, the pages turned more and more, and it finally became a whole book. And now we're currently publishing it.
Na hiyo si the only book umeandika?
Yeah, it's my first book, but I'm on my second one. And I want that one to be slightly bigger than the first one.
So kuna vitu umelearn from kuandika the first book?
Yeah, there are a lot of things because it's my first one. So I've learned like my first book, I don't have chapters, but on my second one I do. And I've learned the whole process of publishing it and everything. I've been taught even by my teachers. They have helped me to publish the book also. And I've learned quite a few things during my journey.
So sahi mko shule wote wawili?
Yeah.
What, high school ama?
No, still primary.
Primary?
Yeah.
The final year, I'm guessing?
No.
Class 7,
Yeah.
Amani, grade 7 now.
Yeah.
So being a student still in primary school and balancing this with also being an artist, kuna inspiration yenye inatokanga shule, yani kuna venye watu shule wanawa encourage, like of course watu unakaa na wao class wamekuona kwa TV, labda wengine hata wanakuona sahi, alafu tena the same person mnafaa kufanya assignment na so reception ya shule to you guys being artist ikoje?
We also spend a lot of time during school doing all these things, learning new things, but it's just a matter of managing your time and knowing like how I'm gonna do this at the right time. And also even singers on the TV, they also get inspired to continue even doing even the talents that they didn't know they had. So I love inspiring also others, and I'm very grateful even to inspire others. Yeah.
You are very inspiring. Mimi ushani inspire niandike kitabu already. So apart from the inspiration yenye unapatia watu wa shule, kuna the hard part about it, explain to me juu maybe si kila mtu amepitia the point of life where ana balance kusoma na job juu basically hii ni kazi. So challenges kiasi.
Yeah. So first of all, it's challenging, yes, because like at the end of the maybe week, you're given a lot of homework, and then you have like maybe an interview or something, some other projects going on. It's hard to balance the both of them, but if you like manage your time very well, you know what you do, because it's a challenge, but you have to like overcome that challenge. So, but it's amazing doing this also, because I wouldn't also want to be at home the whole day not doing anything, you know. So yeah.
So apart from mom kuwa artist ambayo pia mna collaborate na yeye in terms of performance, she also happens kuwa your manager, si ndio?
Yeah, she's also a manager. She's a very good manager too.
So
yeah.
when ana have kujiseparate from being mom until sasa inabidi akuwe manager, unaonanga differences yoyote ya relationship yenu sasa? Yani kuna venye mna treat, you guys interact differently than on a normal day without it being a work day?
Yeah, like when she's a mom, she's an amazing mom. She's supportive. But when she's a manager, you know, you have to concentrate on that part, and you have to do what you have to do. You have to be strict, obviously, because you can't just play around. But she's also a good mom, and at the same time a good manager. And our relationship is still the same, but there's a few restrictions here and there. Like we have to like plan ourselves when we're doing our work. Yeah.
So apart from sasa mom being also a creative help kwa your process ya art, also tuliongea hapo ukaniambia kuna mwalimu wako wengi pia wenye wanakusaidia. So hiyo ni kitu foreign kwangu, speaking from an artist perspective. Pia mimi nilikuwa very into arts during primary, but I don't think nilipata the same amount of support or notice yani yenye nyinyi mnaweza kuwa mmepata. So how has been the experience ya kuwork pamoja na walimu also while them being your teachers?
Well, it's nice because they're your teachers, and then they know what you do, and they're very supportive. I'm very lucky to have supportive teachers. And I also have my head teacher, Teacher Simani, who writes for me poems and makes me do them. And it's amazing to do those poems. And it's also a great blessing to have teachers who are supportive of you, because many of them, you know, some of them are not supportive, but I'm lucky to have them as supportive teachers. And they don't treat me any differently. They just treat me as any other student. But they just support my talent, and that's it. And they continue telling me to continue going on, and they encourage me. Yeah.
Acha sasa niongeleshe Imani for a few. Aya, Imani, acha nikuambush na swali kidogo ndio uchangamke. Kuwork na twin yako, haikai rahisi. Nielezee the process ya having work, live, see her every day, yani the whole day mko na yeye shule, but still lazima mfanye kazi poa together.
So it's really nice working with her, but you know, sometimes there might be like difficulties, sometimes you may argue, and maybe like when you're learning something, the other person isn't getting it, so you have to help them, but maybe they still don't get it. So it's good because you'll also have someone to help you all of the time, and someone who can also understand you. Yeah. So it's really nice, even though there are some difficulties here and there.
Kwa poem nasema we also argue, but we don't fight. Yeah. So kama a duet sasa, that's what I will call watu wawili wanafanya at a duet. Mnapatanga like, is it easier kufanya mkiwa wawili hivi ama nyi wote wawili mkona like a different avenue yenye maybe bado hamja explore in art, because of course though being twins you're very different people, so are there any other activities that maybe one does and or rather Amani does that you do not do?
Yeah, like her, she has written a book,
Mhm.
but I've not written any book, but I'm still planning to write a book. But yeah, she's more into writing than me. Yeah, and I still also have some things which I'm more interested than her. Yeah,
Like what?
like drawing.
Oh, so you're also a visual artist.
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys have so many talents, manze. I don't even know where to question you, but anyway, let's get back to this. Imani, Imani, you've said that working with your sister, unapata ni rahisi juu uko na source of support, maybe mna collaborate on this and that, but kwa hiyo, for example, her writing process, kuna mahali mna interact kwa hizo activities zenye haziwahusu. For example, kama yeye ashaikuja akakwambia hiki kitu umechora hainifurahishi, hata kama yeye mwenyewe achorangi, like do you share?
Yeah, like maybe let's say like I've written something, and then I go look for her opinion, because like her opinion really matters to me, to know if it's good or not. So we ask each other if it's good, like which part we can remove or which part we can add to make it more better.
So, wow. Let me go back to shule. Kuna during school kuna lessons zote zenye ni art, yani singing, drama, ama this is completely an activity yenye ina happen home?
There are some activities which happen in school which include singing and those type of things, but it rarely happens, but we're given a chance most of the time. But most of the time it usually happens at home. Yeah.
Nimesikia mko na wimbo ya Kikuyu ya kwanza yenye mlitoa, si ndio? Recorded when you guys were 9 years old. Share with me the experience ya kukua a recording artist. Hiyo siku ya kwanza kwa studio mlikuwa hivi 9 years old. Yani what was the feeling of now tuko hapa? Hizi wimbo tumekuwa tukiimba, leo tunazirecord.
I was scared.
You were scared.
Personally, I was really scared because I thought like someone was going to judge me and tell me to do something another way. But then after a while, I got used to it and I became more comfortable. Yeah.
So with time ndo umekam kufeel comfortable with now recording professionally na music videos and all that?
Yeah.
Wow. So back at home sasa. And explain to me a normal day yenye kila mtu ako work mode. Sasa ni mom ni manager, Imani ni artist na Amani ni artist. Hiyo siku inakaaje kwa nyumba?
So normally we usually stay together. We wake up really early to start the work. We come to like one group, maybe in like the sitting room and that. And then we like, maybe like, for example, it's a song, we write it down and then we learn together. And if there's any part which we're not understanding, like that, we usually help each other out. Yeah.
So mom ndio ana kickstart ama nani ana control venye kunaenda?
She first maybe like says the parts to us, and maybe after, maybe like nowadays we usually learn by ourselves. But maybe like in the afternoon, we ask her some few things, maybe the parts which we have not understood, and then she helps us out.
Sai mmefunga shule?
Yeah.
So with the time that mmekuwa nayo home, mko na plans gani za art, specifically on art? Yani vitu zenye mnataka maybe work on, achieve before bado shule zifunguliwe?
Maybe a song and maybe a poem, but I'm not sure when they're going to come out.
You have time. You guys mmefunga 7 weeks, ndio? Hiyo ni time mob sana. So let's rewind kidogo in your life. Tukishare na your mom aliniambia that initially she didn't know that mtakuwa interested in music until anunue ka radio, and then your sister happened kuacha kulia immediately. Ati alikuwa analia siku mzima until akapelekwa hospitali akaambiwa mtoto wako ako sawa, nunulia yeye radio. From that day on, apparently she was just so into music. So what has been the experience growing up in the home of an artist? Because I can call your mom an artist since yeye ndo anaandika most of the things mna perform.
So it's really normal once you get used to it. Like me personally, I started singing way after Amani started singing. But then, like when you sing together, it's like more fun. And with mom, she usually helps us out, and it's also really nice when we hear her like composing something. We help her out once in a while.
Also, it's a creative process, yani, or even the things that mama ameandika, pia nyinyi mko na some parts zenye mlitouch inside. Oh wow, that must be a wonderful feeling, yani. Aya. So forward kidogo tena mmeingia shule, sasa ndio umeanza ku recognize maybe talents, this and that has happened, release your first song. When is the first time ushaika hivi ukaona kwa TV? Ni explain your experience, the first time.
The first time we saw ourselves on TV, we were really happy because even we were told by our parents that it was not something normal, not everyone gets to see themselves on TV. We really enjoyed it, and we hoped that we would get to see ourselves another time. Yeah.
So iliwapea more psych, yani.
Yeah.
Wow, how inspiring. So kwa creative process yenu in terms of mkiwa shule, kuna times zenye maybe wimbo zingine, poems zingine zenye collaborate na watu wengine wa shule ama experience zinatoka shule? Is it solely like the two of you ama saa zingine mko na marafiki still your age wenye bado ni artists wenye wanawasaidia?
No, not really from school, but some of them, sometimes they ask if they could like join us, like maybe like to record the video of the music, the audio, and we tell them sometimes that we can join. Yeah, so they are also interested in such things.
So for kutoka the first song, maybe 4 years ago, maybe I'll ask this question now to Amani, and then you started working with a producer the first time mlitoa wimbo, si ndio? Yeah. So bado sasa mna collaborate na the same producer ama mmechange?
The same, the producers usually go according to the language of the song, because there are some who do better than others. Like Kiswahili, we go to this one, and then Kikuyu, we go to the next. So we think we have two, one for Kiswahili and one for Kikuyu. Yeah. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So hizo wimbo za Kikuyu ni nyinyi mnaandika ama bado ni mama?
It's still mom who writes them.
Inabidi mlearn na yeye ama ni language mlikuwa mshajua?
Before we were small, she used to be the one who was teaching us. But now that I've grown up, we have gotten to learn the language more, and we teach ourselves nowadays. So, yeah.
So you're self-taught Kikuyu artists?
In a way, yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Wow, how inspiring.
Yes.
So when we spoke, you told me that the second book that you're writing right now is from a male perspective.
Yes.
I found it funny. A 13-year-old girl writing from a male perspective. What was the inspiration behind it? Like, what was the thought process? Ukasema sasa, I'm putting my mind in a man.
Okay. I didn't want it to seem like I write only for the female perspective, because maybe a man can think, why aren't they writing? They're just writing for girls. Plus, I wanted it to be different now, so it can look more, it can relate more to both genders. So I wanted it to be a male perspective this time, and to like relate to men who are like going through the same issue. So yeah.
Wow, how inspiring. So the book comes out in 2 weeks.
Yes.
It will be available.
Yes.
How to get your copy? You can contact their page or.
The number is 0719283604.
I'm sure it will be provided right
Yeah.
after the interview.
Yeah, it will.
So nataka as we end up sasa, as we wind up, nataka kuwe na a message sasa to the people your age. Juu show ya leo theme ya this month imekuwa about kids. Haijakuwa really about yeah. So naweza taka you as artists, multiple artists, authors, visual artists and poets. What word can you tell the people your age who are watching you right now?
I would like to tell them that no matter what talent they're given, that they should always put their hard work into that talent. They should never give up. Like, even though how stressful it may seem, they should never give up. They should continue going. And when they found out that talent, they should be grateful because it's a God-given talent, and they should use it for the best. So yeah, I would like to tell them to put so much hard work in it, because at the end of the day, it will pay. Even though it seems it doesn't, it will pay one day. Yeah.
Amen. So nataka sasa the long-awaited performance of the Kikuyu song. Maybe you can introduce it a bit kabla to grace hapa.
Yeah, we wanted to do the poem first. So because the Kikuyu song, we already did it after.
Okay. So the poem, you guys have multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah, peace.
Yeah, we'll do it for peace. Yeah.
Perfect.
We thank God for giving us such a wonderful country, Kenya, my motherland, blessed with wildlife and beautiful sceneries. Tourists travel from far and wide to come and see the beauty this country has to offer. There are 42 tribes in Kenya, which form one community. We all belong to this one community. We all belong to one Father called God. Oh, we forgot to tell you something. We were in our mother's womb together. We arrived in the world together, but my sister saw the world 2 minutes before me. We breastfed together. Though we have a lot in common, there is one thing we do. We disagree, but we don't fight. Dear Kenyans, it is in order to disagree on certain things, for example, the leaders we like and different opinions, but we should never fight. People will come and go, but Kenya will remain. My name is Amani, which means peace. Born in 2008. I guess there was no better name that year. I choose to preach peace everywhere and in everything I do. For peace brings brotherhood and happiness. Peace brings development and freedom. I ask you to join me in preaching peace at all times.
My name is Imani, which means faith. I have a lot of faith God will continue blessing Kenya with peace, love, and unity. For unity brings harmony and prosperity. Unity is a glue that sticks people together.
Remember, united we stand and divided we fall. Let's love each other, for to love and to be loved is the greatest gift of all. We need a peaceful and united Kenya, today, tomorrow, and forever. May God bless Kenya. We love you all. Thank you.
And we love you too, Amani and Imani. So I think I love the message. Kenya will always be here. So the quicker we make those life-changing decisions, the better for the next generation as well. Yeah. So I just have one question for Imani. Yeah. So in your spoken word, you guys have talked about you guys disagree, but you don't fight. So what are some of the things you'd say you love about having a twin?
It's nice, and also you also have someone to help you most of the time, because, like, for example, if you have someone elder than you, majority of the time they might not be there, or they might be too busy. And if you have someone younger than you, maybe they won't be able to help. So maybe it's really nice to have someone who's there for you most of the time to help you in things which you're struggling in and like that.
Okay. Amani, what are some of the things you guys disagree on?
We disagree on many things. Like, let's say I want to wear an outfit and Imani doesn't want to wear one. And we may disagree on that. But at the end of the day, we make a decision to just pick which one is best. Now nowadays we don't disagree on it because we usually choose. Today is Imani's choice to choose, and then it's mine, like that, like that. So we have turns nowadays. So we don't disagree on that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are an inspiration to the upcoming generation, of course, and it's an amazing thing that you guys are doing. I love the fact that you guys discovered your talent at a very tender age, and you guys have been pushing towards growing and being better at that space. So congratulations. We celebrate you guys on the squared. Yeah. So Benjamin, it's time to wrap up, man.
It's the worst time.
You didn't see that wrap up, man. Nime rap.
Man. You should join comedy clubs now.
Come on.
You're becoming too funny.
Yeah, I'm coming to find. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for staying tuned for Island's Expressions. Remember, we come live to you each and every Saturday from 2 p.m. So turn the notification bell on, share our videos so that next week to come live, the same place, the same time, utakuwa on the know now. We'll have a great time, of course. We will learn as well. I'm hoping today's interview has sparked something in you as a first-time mom. And of course, let's keep sharing. Let's keep learning together and keep asking those questions. It has been an amazing month. The conversation has been great.
It's sad to see the topic go, man.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
You had a really good month, by the way. I have to commend you on that. The interviews you've had this month, forever. They will be relevant forever.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That's why we come live to you each and every Saturday. Squared was meant for you and I. We get to learn together. We get to explore, and you get to try out some of these things we have on this show each and every Saturday. So next week is a new month, a happy new month. And of course, the conversation is going to be different, but who are on the know, yeah, you'll want to be part of that conversation. Uta have fun, uta have a good time. So before we let you go, I'd love to let Amani and Imani bless us with the first song they started the show with. Akistaki kuchoma, inaitamkwaje?
Acha nikufunze basi. Ma. Ti. Ge. Tareka. Matige tareka.
Tublesini, asanteni sana, si ndio?
Ametry.
Black Boy Music.